Okay. Now I shouldn't do anything really embarrassing?
Yeah, now
Hi,
you
Mom.
should stand stock still.
Hello, Erica's mama.
Never move.
That's my song.
That's a good song.
I'm sure she'll like it. She was an elementary school music
live
teacher,
stream.
so music is
It has
thumbs up.
been a while.
It's been a while.
TotalPartyKill.live has already generated the YouTube thing, which I feel like
It's
it
been
does
sitting
not
there
already.
for a while because
Well,
it's
no,
just
but
been sitting on the
we're
blank screen for a while.
We're there. So
yeah. Oh, are we? We're
Yeah.
there. We're live. It's not even showing me that in the YouTube interface. Oh, that's because it doesn't go to the end for some reason.
Secret Agent says noise and video, which is like, you're a swell
Yay.
person.
What else do you need?
I also I was like, noise? Well, yeah, no, that's
No,
correct.
accurate.
yeah. I was like,
Let's be
what, guys, let's all make a commitment. Let us try and work up from noise to sound today. That'll be our.
It hasn't
That's
happened
too
yet.
much.
You're asking a lot.
It's been like 6 weeks, Tony. Let's.
Yep.
It
let's
is in
start
6
slow.
weeks.
Start slow. Ramp.
We
up.
paused mid-fight for 6 weeks, which is not my ideal way of doing anything. I like to finish all of my fights.
See, I feel like that was a tactical move on our part so that
Was
you
it?
would forget as much as possible.
Yeah, do you remember
and
how we
put
won
us
that
at
fight?
The advantage.
Yeah, I didn't forget anything at all.
I
ever.
did.
Strahd and everything.
I did find a plot hole in my story, which I don't know if
I
any
don't
of
see
you
how
have
that's
figured
possible.
out. And in the intervening 6 weeks, I patched it. So you'll never know.
Oh, nice.
I didn't get the release notes.
Yeah, well, they gotta pay attention
Tony,
for
I
this.
do have a piece of reader mail. Would you like that at the end
Oh,
or
yeah.
the beginning?
Yes. Is this from yeah, no, we should totally do this at the beginning because you know what? I'll forget if it's at the end. And is this from listener Robert, one
It
of
is
our
from-
favorite listeners?
Yeah, listener Robert sent in some email a little while back, and I shared part of it with it, but I withheld part, assuming I was the only one who saw it.
Oh
Because,
no, is one of us getting like is
Roasted.
this an intervention? Is this an intervention?
So, listener Robert says, a question about the Dog and Pony Show's adventures in Barovia occurred to my wife and I the other day. Now, it is functionally impossible to leave Barovia, with the one rulebook exception of the Vistani.
Yeah.
However, that's not actually true canonically in the show. Pony Cindelarnt is summoned from and returns to the Feywild or some other plane where he interacts with other entities. It is possible for Bruldish to load Pony with information or questions, then send Pony back to try to gather interplanar allies and or information. Pony himself is a weird interplanar ally as a second-order effect. Also, Bruldish's axe is questionably the most holy object available in the setting since it's 100% of the holy artifacts from the sect she's from. And it's not impossible for Pony to try to get word out to call down Hela Bright Axe directly, which seems like a very Bruldish thing to do.
So was that a question?
No, it was more of an observation. I didn't
More
say
of an
question. I just
observation.
said a listener. Or I said we have mail.
Should I react now or does it keep going?
And then the other thing I did relay to us, but it was not necessarily, that was more for the party than it was for public consumption.
Okay, a picture of ponies. Yes, that's right. You can send us pictures of ponies that you find in your day-to-day life, and
or
we will
dogs.
look at them with our eyes. That is a service we provide in limited quantities.
That's the total party kill guarantee.
Also,
So-
if you become an Incomparable member, there is a pets channel in the Incomparable Slack where you can join and see
There is?
Yeah, it's mainly
Dogs.
pictures of pets.
and
Oh my
or
God.
ponies and or cats.
One moment, guys. I can't play yet.
Gotta find that chat.
So I will just I forget where I've talked about this, if it was already on a podcast, if it was just in a Slack channel. This is premium bootleg content that will never appear in the episode because we haven't started the episode yet. I'll admit to some failures on my part.
Oh, dear.
I make many mistakes, many days, many times, in many days.
This
Some
is
of
a
those,
trick question. He's just waiting for you to nod, but he never makes mistakes.
some of those are in the context of Dungeons and Dragons. Some of them are happy mistakes. And guess what? There's not really a wrong way to play Dungeons and Dragons. Oh my God, someone's gonna find a wrong way. Actually, no, there's lots of wrong ways. But there's, the rules are a suggestion. And some people get very hung up on this is what the rules say, or even this is what the module says. And it's no, those are there as like a thing you can work off of. One of my early experiences running Dungeons and Dragons, I ran Dark Sun for Dan and some other people in person
it wasn't
for many
just
years.
me, let's be clear.
I was gonna
Just
say,
Dan.
just
Me and Dan.
One
we
on
are
one.
very, very close. I have murdered him 35 times and I will get to 37. Dark Sun is a strange setting in beyond its post-apocalyptic stuff, in that there is a lot of like canon, like this is what happened when, and I spent a lot of time hanging out in Dark Sun forums, and a common Dark Sun forum entry would be like, someone would be like, hi, I'm new to the forum, I have this idea for a Dark Sun setting, what if, and a bunch of other people would be like, no, that's wrong, canonically elves are cannibals, there are no gnomes, and all the gods murdered this, even though those gods were then murdered hundreds of years ago, and there's no way that would ever impact anything with player characters. You're wrong, you're not running Dark Sun. That was bad. But anyway, yeah, welcome to Nerds. I will say something, I guess I kind of messed up early on in our very first Curse of Strahd session. There is a whole section in the Curse of Strahd adventure on how some spells should operate differently in the horrible realm of Barovia.
Oh, interesting.
So, for example, if you summon Mage Hand, should be like a skeletal hand. And it specifically has a paragraph that if someone uses Summon Steed, it would be a skeletal horse. I was aware of that, and you all summoned us. Like the first thing you did, you had been in Barovia for like 8 minutes, and you summoned a horse. And I was like, and then not just any horse, but a pony, which is a celestial pony that you're very attached for. Yeah, and I was like, is that too much to like basically murder a horse on, you know?
A horse named after you.
Yeah. Day one, you know what? Look, little job advice from Tony: don't murder a horse on day one. Don't try not to murder any horses unless your job is horse murder. Get a different job. But yeah, so I chose not to do that. So we do have Pony Cinderella going back and forth from the Feywild. There is a kind of challenging thing where it's like, is Pony Cinderella an NPC that I, as the dungeon master, control, or an extension of Erica's character? And I feel like it's kind of in between. Erica, is that a fair? It's a little bit informally negotiated, right?
Yeah, it kind of depends. I think it depends on the circumstances. So like when Pony Cinderella was talking to Drusilla, which was an NPC horse that you were running, like you certainly didn't want to run both equines at that point.
I do not want to run two horses.
Nope.
I don't want to run that. I somehow keep getting tricked into running conversations between NPCs.
It's a really good thing there wasn't a third horse there, because
Dan tried to set up two of my NPCs like last week. They were in different places, and he brought one NPC to another place and was like, "You guys should date." And I was like, "Dan, stop doing that."
No, I think that like under certain circumstances, it makes sense for you to jump in and be like, Pony does this because it's important for like the plot or whatever. So, but in general, like I feel like I can tell Pony where to go.
So I think when Pony goes back to the Feywild, Pony is set to a place that is probably like, I imagine it's kind of like a celestial animal spa, and there's a lot of me time for Pony, and I imagine that Pony is like
he needs
getting a massage and lounging on like a very elaborate like chair by a pool that is custom designed for a pony. And but in short, there's a lot of things Pony could do that is not happening.
Yeah. Have you guys met Pony? Like, Pony Jane, does not really.
Jane, you were going to say something.
Yeah. I mean, I think, D&D players love building mouse traps. And I think there are sometimes that instinct, like, goes with the flow and with the genre, and it builds to something. But if you're trying to build a mousetrap to like get outside of the genre, because like being stuck in Barovia is it's the thing. So I don't know. I would probably if one of my players was trying to repeatedly kill their pony to try and like have them get intel from the great beyond,
there would be repercussions. Yeah,
there would be repercussions. Like, I don't know if I would stay in a job where I was being repeatedly murdered.
That's how you get an angry pony. Yeah.
Also, Brildish is not smart enough to think like that. So, like, if it ever comes down to it, and like we need some celestial intervention, that's a thing that Tony, as the DM, could pull out of his hat if he wanted to, but not.
I also think your heroes, there's, it's your job to rescue people, or in this case, rescue yourselves. Right. There's not, I mean,
that's what we're up for.
I think it's like, there's not a 1-800 number. Like, help, I'm stuck in Barovia.
I still love the idea.
And we're not picking apart sort of your idea. I love doing wacky stuff within the rules of Dungeons and Dragons. One of my favorite things is to make really messed up D&D characters.
You, Jane, who made a character who could jump and kill himself in one turn? Yeah, that's not a thing.
Which I did look up. That jump, what was it? A Tabaxi rogue
it was
multi-class with mage or something? And I did so you created a Tabaxi that could jump so high it would die when it fell, which specifically jumped as high. I consulted slightly higher than Castle Ravenloft itself. Which is a very tall castle. I remember reading a thread about where castle nerds were mad about how tall Castle Ravenloft is, because it's like it would be the tallest castle Tony, ever. It's like walls don't make any sense.
Can I help you with something
taller than anyone need? I spend a lot of time.
Stop reading threads on those forums, please. I think you'll be happier.
That's part of my prep work that I suffer for you people. Is I go and read a lot of all right, if I'm gonna, because I'm someone who runs a lot of things from modules, let me go see all the ways that people have broken modules, all the things that people complain about. And I'll say, the internet has gotten better at this, in part because actual play podcasts are really big. It used to be that there would be every thread would have 5 pages about why would you ever run a module? You should do your homebrew stuff. And then it'd be like, okay, here's the thing that you should fix about the module. Anyway, Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Let's play.
Yeah.
Oh, I have in the interim forgotten how this works. So I should start the adventure, right? That's the thing we do?
Already mid-adventure.
Yep. I should start the session of our podcast where we introduce ourselves. It is 8:24. This is good. I have another podcast after that because mistakes.
What? A nightcast?
Yeah, I know. Sign up. There's an Incomparable live show. I think that'll be streamed too. People can listen to that later.
Only if we're done.
Only if we're done. Yeah, it's contingent on me being done.
This is we're filibustering right now. I mean, basically, as long as we have the stream.
Yeah.
Let's get started.
I'm just, before we do that, I'll share a thrilling memory from my childhood. Sorry, Micah. Remember when filibusters were cool? I don't know. My dad was very into Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, a heroic story about filibusters, and now
well, named after Mallard Fillmore.
Yep. All right, we're done.
Okay.
Tony's political corner is shut. Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, he, him, is a dungeon master. Today, we are doing more Dog and Pony Show. That's right. Barovia, Curse of Strahd, all your favorite jerks and lovable scamps are assembled in one place to fight vampires and hopefully not be murdered by them. Erica edits these all precisely to make me sound like a person.
Over them, under them,
around
them.
First off, you heard his voice just then. It's the one. It's the, I don't know if he's only, but the only one I know, the Micah Sargent. Hi, Micah.
Hello, ahoy, and howdy. I am Micah Sargent, as Tony Sindelar already pointed out. I play Elevor Landman, the half-elf druid, and Samus, the saber-toothed tiger. My and Elevor's pronouns are he, him, and Samus's are she, her.
Thank you, Micah. Next up, my friend from across the river, it's Jane Ritt. Hi, Jane.
Hello, Tony. I am playing Lena Dulina, the human rogue. Both of our pronouns are she, her.
Thank you, Jane. Joining us and running our stream and doing all the technology stuff, it's Dan Morin.
Hello, I am playing Crucible, aka Castor Onotar's Crucible, a Warforged cleric of the god Onotar. My pronouns are he, him. Crucibles are they, them.
Next up, Aline Sims.
I haven't played D&D in 6 weeks, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I play Imra Soliana, the Wood Elf Ranger. Her trusty favorite pupper, Androdite, and we all use she, her pronouns.
And last but not least, unless I forgot someone, which I'm trying really hard not to do, is Erica Ensign.
Hello. I have been editing TPK somewhat regularly over the last 6 weeks, so I remember how to play Dungeons and Dragons.
We will follow your lead.
Yeah.
That leads straight to success for us. I'm just saying. But today I am playing Brildish, the Dwarven Paladin. Her pronouns, like mine, are she, her, and Brildish also has a celestial pony named Pony Cindelarnt. His pronouns are he, him.
So as Aline mentioned, it has been 6 weeks in our lifetime since we have played. We have forgotten almost everything. No doubt none of that will be reflected in how today's session goes, and we are really great at everything. Let me remind you of the action so far, both players and listeners, in case you've forgotten. You are currently in a coffin maker's shop on the second floor fighting vampires. How did you get here? Well,
poor life decisions.
Thank you. You are passing through the town of Vallaki to steal a wedding dress. Just going to remind you of that thing that you decided to do. A thing not necessarily required by the adventure, but a thing you have decided you're going to do. You are on your way to Castle Ravenloft to confront one Strahd von Zarovich himself, and your flesh golem needed a wedding dress. So you just stopped over in Vallaki, and things are not well there. There's been some kind of outbreak, and houses are boarded up, and houses have been burned down, and you have tracked some monsters that are attacking people in the night to the coffin maker's shop. There was a great episode where you were real scared about the room full of coffins on the first floor, but you know where they keep vampires? On the second floor in nondescript crates. When there's a room full of coffins down below.
Tony, are these contraband vampires?
I think you made a lot of joke about hipster vampires. I don't totally remember if any of them were worth remembering. So,
clearly they were not, as you do not remember them.
They were not. We are mid-combat. I almost remember how Dungeon and Dragon works. I think, thank you for laughing at my non-joke, Micah. I believe we have initiative.
It'll be worth
here.
remembering.
And I believe that we will start with Lena Delina. I see after Lena a character named Mila, who I believe is Micah's celestial roommate, who moves on a different initiative. Then Team Vampire. There are many vampires here in the attic with you. This is bad. Vampires, even lesser vampire spawns such as these, are a formidable threat. You have destroyed one and severely injured another. You have bashed a variety of holes in the walls, or I guess they were mainly places where there were boarded up windows. So there are a lot of shafts of light as the setting sun illuminates this strange attic. And that is helping you because I believe it is doing both some radiant damage to the vampires, and specifically they do not regenerate if they start their turn in direct sunlight, which I guess we're counting this as it just says sunlight because I'm like, it's not that direct. So Team Vampire followed by Imra, Elevor, Brildish, Samus, Crucible at the end. Does that sound right, people?
It does indeed.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Tony, can you tell us which of the vampires, since some of the names are covered up, which one is Bianca? Because I just want to point out that Bianca is both baned and prone.
Yes, good reminder. I would not have remembered that. Bianca is in the center of the fight. I put a bunch of symbols on this character 6 weeks ago so that I would not know what they mean, except I guess they're prone and baned and possibly took radiant damage recently. Bianca is not doing well. Certainly. Apparently, I named all. Oh, I remember this. I did this
alphabetical order. Yeah,
I named all the vampires in alphabetical order. Weird old timey names,
which I totally called before you said it.
Yep. So you have murdered Aloysius. Bianca is badly hurt. Karn not yet touched. Delatrix. Almost in some of these names I may have made up.
That's a good name though. I like that.
Erasmus, Helena. So there's several vampire spawn. Any questions? Comments?
So many.
This is good. I don't remember how this works, but this seems right.
It's great.
Okay. Jane, how are you?
I have a question. Does a 12 hit their AC?
15, I think we've established.
What? How do you know that, Aline? Aline, did you watch
She listened to the episode.
Which one are you attacking?
So it would be Bianca.
And did you roll with advantage?
I did. Roll with advantage, and these dice are dusty.
Oh no.
So, okay, then we're going to with my, so that was my magnificent sun sword glowing with the energy of that which is baleful to these vampiric beasts with.
I don't remember what the sun sword's voice sounds like. It's been too long.
Let's face it, Tony, it probably sounded a lot like you.
Yeah, but I don't remember what
sword in here.
I say that with
I like blood. Please stop saying.
I have a full range of voices from Goblin to Cowboy to Goblin Cowboy.
That one sounded very much like a very creepy teddy bear with like blood dripping out of its mouth.
Yeah, it's a very specific image.
That's my backup character.
It was a very specific voice.
Oh my god, don't let Lena die.
Okay, so then with her like magnificent sun sword, nothing, takes out her normal sword.
We just sword. Yep.
Short sword.
Rolls very badly. Lena is just like doing like light stick rave dancing. Yeah.
There's an episode of Homestar Runner that.
Yes, exactly.
The system is down.
It's down.
Yeah.
The system is down. That's
down.
my turn, friends.
Micah, you have an auspicious start to being murdered by vampires. I hope you don't actually get murdered by vampires this episode.
Let's see.
Do you remember how I don't remember what kind of creatures these are that you have summoned.
Mila and Pavia are both Alceids. And I do remember how they work. They both have multi-attack, and the one move they do is called Radiant Touch. So let's start with Pavia, who is on the left there.
Yep.
Next to a vampire dealie whose name is hidden. Karn. I almost said Carl. Let's attack Carl.
I think we called him Carl last time.
Micah, it's possible that before this person was a vampire, that was their like human name, and then they became a vampire.
Call
and they're
me
like,
Karn.
you gotta, yeah.
Now I am Karn.
And it's like we already.
Carl, you just changed one letter. Come on,
like,
Carl.
And like we already have a guy named Carnage. That's gonna be confusing.
Call me Carney.
Do Pavia and Mila get advantage or no?
On Bianca, yes.
But not at the.
Just on Bianca. Got it.
Just on Bianca.
If it's depending on what kind of attack it is. If it's a ranged attack, it would be disadvantage.
Are we sure their AC is 15?
You are. You are very sure.
All right. Well, we'll just Pavia didn't hit anybody. Now we'll give Mila a swing and a hit. I'm gonna go ahead and roll the second one. How's that? Just to see if we hit with the second. Okay. Oh, that's a 20.
You rolled a critical. That's even better.
All right. Yeah. So let's see. I'll roll damage for the first one. That is 1d10 plus 4.
Will it be 2d10? Oh, you've hit twice. I get it. So
yeah, they have multi-attack. So
you're
first one,
and this is. Oh, you go.
Mila is hitting the person in the top right corner, the vamp in the top right corner. Bellatrix. So does 10 damage, and then this is 10 radiant damage, just to be clear.
Yep.
And then does 28 radiant damage.
Yes. So I'm gonna add those numbers together into 38. That is a lot of 8. 38.
38. Yeah.
And I will put a little symbol on Bellatrix indicating that she has recently taken radiant damage, which is bad.
Have you recently taken radiant damage? If so,
you're undead. You're in trubs. Yeah. Was that Mila and Pavia? Or
yes, that was Mila and Pavia's turn, and they are both very happy.
All right. Did Karn get hit? Or
Karn did not get hit.
All right, got it.
Miss on Karn. Excellent. Miss on Carl.
All right. He's already got he's got a huge tattoo, but it's like the last letter is a little indistinct. Also, why does he have his own name tattooed on him? That's
he's very forgetful.
He was someone you didn't want to hang out with when he was alive.
Yeah,
now
my rule is to never have anybody else's name tattooed on me ever.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
So that leaves me with one name that I can tattoo.
If you're gonna get a name,
true. I mean, really.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, does that you mean even animal names?
Yeah.
I mean, the animal could get canceled.
But yeah,
it's true. Yeah. I don't want my dog to get milkshake ducked.
Yeah, literally an animal that got canceled. All right. So it is the vampire's turn. Things at the start of vampire turn go poorly because you have opened up a lot of holes in the ceiling and walls here. I have drawn strange rectangles all over the map indicating shafts of light. This is just like the ending of From Dusk Till Dawn, except that the physics of the light don't really make any sense here. It is also, the sun is setting, so you may not have many rounds of light to count on, but every vampire that starts its turn in a shaft of light is going to take 20 damage.
Yes,
That is
indeed.
a badass mother.
And not regenerate, which they would normally regenerate. So Bellatrix is bloodied and not regenerating, which is not the preferred way to be.
Do the roommates also have auras that make a difference for vampires? I see that they have auras.
No.
I don't.
No, that was just because Tony's nice and wanted to let me show them glowing, but yeah,
Gotcha,
unfortunately, no true auras.
Just for effect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's still pretty cool.
So the vampires are gonna go next. They were briefly like I forget if it was friended or charmed, and I think they are real surly about that now that that spell has worn off. So I'm looking here, and I'm gonna work kind of from top to bottom.
Thought we were friends, man.
Left to right. Right to left. Bellatrix will go first. Bellatrix, Imra, you are right there. Oh, Imra, I've forgotten that we had great new art for all of our character pogs, and they look great. It's going to be real sad when all of you are murdered. How does a vampire work? A vampire has multi-attack. It is going to do a claw attack and a bite attack on you. Let us start with a claw attack versus Imra. Rolling a d20, not a d12. I am an experienced dungeon master.
Totally do a d12.
Yeah.
I have rolled a 17 claw attack versus to hit.
That hits.
And a slightly less impressive 14 bite attack.
That does not hit.
Let's see. The vampire can choose to do slashing damage or grab you. I think this vampire is going to go for the slashing damage. And in fact, I could only bite you if I had already grabbed you. So you will take 8 slashing damage.
Okay.
All right. Over here, Bianca will stand up. I don't know if anything bad happens when Bianca does that.
She uses half her move.
Uses half her move. Bianca looks around. Lena, Crucible, Braldus, and Samus, Sabertooth Tiger, are kind of crowded over Bianca. I think she is going to lunge at Lena, who is wielding a sun sword.
What a fool.
Oh, wait, hang on. Lena is...
intervene with a shield.
Lunge
Lena's
at the
not
sun?
within 5 feet of
what
me.
What are you thinking, Bianca?
I am not, no.
Let's see. When wielding a shield and a creature you can see attacks a target other than you within 5 feet. So no, the creature is, but Lena isn't. So there's nothing I can do about it. Sorry, Lena.
All right.
That's okay.
I think this will just be 2 claw attacks. Ooh, that is not good for you. It's great for me. Bianca has rolled a 24 and a 15 to hit 2 attacks.
Okay, the 24 hits, 15 does not.
All right, 8 slashing damage. Felina and Erasmus.
Although, is she baned? Does she have a...
She is baned. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Am I rolling a d4 and subtracting from...
Yep.
It can't help me for the other one. But...
I rolled maximum bane.
But that's still a 20.
Please don't.
Becomes a 16.
No, it was a 24,
It was a 24.
so it becomes a 20. So it still hits.
Yeah,
It's all the mouth forming and everything.
We don't need to make pain jokes anymore. We're past that, people. As a civilization, I decreed it. Yep. Just here, we're done.
Here. On this, the day of our Strahd.
Felina and Erasmus are next. They are currently in a beam of sunlight.
Damage?
I'm sorry.
No.
Yes, 8.
No.
Oh. Wait, what happened?
This is like that student who's like, "What's the homework for tomorrow?"
Yeah.
Which was me in school, but still.
Listen.
Let me rewind, make sure I got that right. You had Bane. I attacked you twice.
Yes.
Hit once.
I hit you once.
Yes.
Even with the Bane
Even
effect.
with the Bane.
That does 8 slashing damage.
Okay.
All right. Felina and Erasmus
Lena
emerge.
says.
I was going to say they emerge from the
Barovian saying.
shadows, but they emerge from a beam of sunlight that they don't like. So they emerge from a backlit beam of sunlight, hissing. Some of their faces are slightly melted, and they lunge through the shadowy, spooky attic. I'm going to say that they are going to go for Crucible and Broldish. Crucible, 18 claw attack. Nope. How about a 12 claw attack? You got one of one of those ACs.
It's lower, like second edition.
You got one of those ACs that's like good for a part, but not all the way down.
Not great.
You don't have one of those
very vulnerable
floor length shields. Yeah. All right. Well, that was Crucible. That was great. I liked when my vampires were going to murder all of you. Broldish. 11 or this is less depressing. 21.
21 does hit.
All right, 8 slashing damage.
Okay.
Karn is trapped over here in the corner by Pavia, so Karn is just going to attack Pavia. Karn rolls a 15 to hit Pavia. Micah?
Oh, I'm sorry. Pavia. That's me.
Yeah.
15 to hit Pavia. That is... Wait, does the hitter get it or the...
Tie goes to the attacker.
Okay. Then that's a hit.
Okay. That's a hit. Here is what Karn is going to do. Karn is feeling feisty. Karn has not taken any damage yet. Karn is also a person who has made some choices, both in their first life and their second vampire life. Here's another choice. Instead of doing damage, Karn will grab Pavia. Pavia is grappled, and Karn is just going to try and sink his whole fangs into Pavia's neck. I have rolled I'm feeling good about this, a 25 to hit.
Now, here's the thing.
I see some repercussions for this. Again, Karn is a creature that has made choices.
Yeah, because this is a being, by D&D's rules, a being touched with the golden light of the sun. It says divines. No, we've already done that. Like, these are literally the sunbeam creatures.
Yeah.
Of all of them. But anyway, so 15 to hit, and then what happened with the bite?
All right. So Karn grabs Pavia and is kind of wrestling with Pavia and gets his fangs out and plunges them into Pavia's neck. I suspect Karn gets basically a real intense sunburn as radiant light just billows out of the now puncture wounds in Pavia's neck. Pavia is going to take there's 6 piercing damage from this attack and then 7 necrotic damage. So it's 13 damage total.
All right.
And there's some repercussions in terms of Pavia can never get those hit points back that I suspect are moot at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pavia says, ouch, and then poofs into a cloud of sort of like, it's like pollen and sunlight.
I'm going to give Karn 15 damage of radiant face damage.
The radiant face damage.
Because Karn just tried to feed on a being of pure sunlight. Mike, am I moving Pavia off the map?
That would be totally cool by me.
All right. Pavia is all right. Karn seems confused about this situation. I will point out, if a vampire reduces a target to 0 hit points with their bite attack, you are dead. You're not making death saving throws. You are dead. So, yeah.
I wonder though, as a summoned creature, and plus I think that it's. I don't remember what spell I use now.
You might check Pavia. On the.
I'll try calling Pavia later and see if Pavia answers.
Convenient. You still owe Pavia your share of the rent.
Yeah, you should probably call. Like, what is the etiquette? But like, probably either today or tomorrow. I would not wait 3 days on this. I feel like All right, that was my very long team vampire turn. Imra's next, then Elevor, then Broldish, then Samus, then Crucible, then Lena. Do it.
I feel like we need to cut down some of these vampires so that
I think that look, I'm just a humble sports commentator, but I think if you killed some of these bad guys, that would be good for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Score more points.
I am using my trusty battle axe +1.
Nice.
My trusty battle axe +1. And I attack Bellatrix in front of me twice. Hit once. Boo.
So good.
4. Oh, and I moved my hunter's mark. I did it before it finished rolling. So 4. That's 10 damage plus my d6 for my hunter's mark. I don't know how D&D Beyond works with rolling dice, so I'm just gonna do that again. My d6 was a 6, so that is 16 total points of magic damage.
All right, this is to Bellatrix. Bellatrix has taken 16 damage. Bellatrix is not looking well up in the top corner of the attic there. All set, Imra? Or you have more?
I think that's all I can do. Yep.
All right. Imra, you are up in the fray. Elevor, you are hanging back at the very entrance to the attic. You're a good, 20, 25, 30 feet away from the fray. The fray being this, huge huddle of vampires and heroes in the middle of the room. Look at you all. You're using the whole map. You're not just fighting in the doorway. I'm real proud of you.
So
inspiration to everybody?
Nope.
So all the windows now open entirely or no?
Technically, there is a window behind you.
I guess there's another one.
There's two windows behind you. The windows most in the vicinity of the vampires have been at least partially, I imagine, had some boards torn off them. I guess a window could be more open.
Okay, then I think let me do the little ping thingy. This window here, Elevor will cast Create Bonfire on it to completely blast it open.
All right.
So it's not just angled one way, hopefully. And that just last time you had me roll, but then you said I doubt that there's a dexterity saving throw for it.
Yeah.
So 10 fire damage.
All right.
Also, now that it's already partially open, there's more surface area for the bonfire to burn. So physics, man, it's just physics.
Physics.
So the window was all boarded up because what you don't want is a skylight in your vampire den. Micah, why don't you roll a d6 twice, and there's going to be some more beams of light coming in to this attic.
Oh, whoops! I did too. Let me do that again.
4, that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. So I rolled a 6 and I rolled a 4.
You rolled a 6 and you rolled a 4. So I'm going to say that's like a 6. And
madness is happening.
So much sunlight.
Yeah. At a certain point, it's going to be easy to just remove all the rectangles because there will be more things there will be more things covered by rectangles than not covered by rectangles. So more beams of light streak through the room. It is getting, if you are a vampire, your places that you can move through this room and not be getting a face full of setting sun.
Should we just leave?
Diminishing.
Because they would have to walk through a lot of sun to follow us.
Problem solves itself.
They might, they might
could just wait.
They might the sun is setting. I think it would probably occur to you that they might retreat into the shadows and then emerge at sunset, which is soon.
I guess vampires like to retreat into the shadows.
Yeah, they prey on humans. You are they're not, they think they're cool, but they're not. Elevor, was that your whole turn?
That's all for Ellie.
Breldish, you are face to face with several vampires, notably Bianca and Erasmus. Bianca is looking unwell.
All right. I'm going to smash at Bianca with my sacred axe. And that is, 11 plus 7 is enough to hit. And I am going to use, what is it called? It's been a while since I've used D&D Beyond. It is not Divine Sense. Oh, come on. It's in here. Divine Smite. That's what it is. I knew it was divine something. Okay, so I hit with a melee weapon attack. I can expend 1 spell slot to deal 2d8 extra radiant damage to the target, plus 1d8 for extra spell level higher than first. And I'm going to do this at second level. I think. Actually, do I have if I have 1 first level spell slot left? I do. I just do it at first level. And it's an extra 1d8 against undead or fiends. So first I will roll my regular damage. So you can do that separately because this is non-magical. That will be, yeah.
Committed to the thing.
That's crappy. I rolled a 1 on the die, so that's a 5 slashing damage, which I know gets halved.
2 slashing damage.
Yep. But I get 1d8 and another d8 because it's undead, plus another okay, so 7 is 12. 17 radiant damage.
Breldish, you have slain that vampire. Yay! Would you like to describe what that looks like for us?
Well, Breldish raises her axe over her head and it smashes down, kind of into the shoulder area of this accursed vampire. And at first it looks like the axe is not really doing all that much, and then suddenly the axe erupts into radiant flame and just kind of burns both halves of the vampire from side to side, inside out, and it just crumbles to the ground.
Samus, you are next. Samus, there is Erasmus, the relatively uninjured vampire. That's his his title is in your vicinity.
Yeah. So we're just gonna go for a nice claw. That didn't do anything. So, well, it did. It was an 8, but it wasn't strong enough to hit. So, yeah. Moving on.
Crucible, Thelena, the somewhat injured vampire, is in your vicinity.
You moved on so fast, I forgot my second attack.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. Go back to Breldish.
Back to attack.
Yeah, I will attack whoever that is. I can't see the name right in front of Samus.
Yep, Erasmus.
Yes. And just with my regular axe, this time I'm not burning one of those spell slots. So that is a 15 plus a bunch. And the damage will be considerably less. Oh, well, at least I rolled a little better than a 1 that time. So that is a 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 damage, which comes back down to 4.
4. All right, got it. Thank you. Sorry about that, Erica.
No problem.
I think now we are on to Crucible, followed by Lena.
Hello. All right. So I've got some options, and strategically, if people have any thoughts. I made myself a note last time to make a window, which I could do. I could create basically a 5-foot square window in the wall.
Ooh.
But I'm unclear as to how much the windows are doing, as opposed to, is that just hurting them, or is it hurting them?
It is.
They take 20 damage at the beginning of their turn if they're in the sun.
The other, an ideal thing, but I can't do both of these things on the same turn, would be to use Turn Undead to basically push them all into the sunlight.
Oh, yeah.
But I am not sure what the best option for that is.
2 of them are basically like in a place where they wouldn't go into the sunlight if they ran away from you.
Right. I could move, though.
Oh, you could do that.
That's
exciting.
Yeah. But what I could do right now is basically step over to this wall, and then, Tony, if I am using a spell to basically create a 5-foot square, let's see, no more than 5 foot in any dimension. You touch a stone object of medium size or smaller, or a section of stone no more than 5 feet in any dimension, and form into any shape that suits your purpose.
Your ideal shape is a window.
You could also shape a stone door or a frame or its frame to seal the door shut. Yeah, so I can basically make a hole. Let's make a small passage through a wall, it says.
All right, I'm going to say that this attic is now partially is dimly lit by the setting sun.
Okay, so
I'm going to get rid of all my rectangles.
Okay, so I've created a 5-foot square window in the wall that is bathing the room in a gentle glow of sunlight.
Yes, the kind of orangey pink light coming in. But as you do that, Crucible, you notice that the sun is more than halfway below the horizon. Technically, there's not really ever a sun that you see in Barovia because it's real dark and gloomy, but that that just robs you of all the imagery that I need.
The diffuse light.
The diffuse light
a distant,
is
gloomy
more diffused.
Sun.
Yeah.
I believe they call this the golden hour.
I'm just saying, like a vampire setting where we don't get to describe the sun setting as an action, that's it's too much. We get it. It's depressing. But still, the sun's got to be able to set sun. The sun is only visible as it sets. It's not visible in the morning.
It's just a thin line beneath.
As it sets, as it's robbing you of all hope. That is when it's available. Not available in the morning. There's no rising sun. It just gets a little bit grayer in the morning. All right, Crucible. This is possibly a big deal if you are a vampire. Possibly. Lena, you're next, followed by Mila, as played by Micah.
Which is the vampire that's right in front of me?
There is a somewhat injured Felena in front of you.
Okay, I want to stab Felena. Let's see.
I want to stab Felena.
And I do. And
Yay!
I do stab her. Wonderful.
Sun sword.
Okay. So that's going to be, so to start with, it's 12 radiant damage plus an additional 19 radiant damage.
Oh.
Woo-wee.
Mm-hmm.
Felena looks extremely unwell.
Yeah, love it.
All right. And do you have a second attack with your mundane sword?
With my mundane short sword. That is a 17, which I believe hits.
Yep.
And that'll be 7 just normal weapon slashing damage.
So non-magical or magical?
Not magical.
Not magical. Got it. All right. Well, Felena is bloodied.
Yeah. She just kind of uses the second one, not so much to do damage, but just to like push her away a little bit. Okay. That is my turn.
Micah, Mila is next. Mila is in the kind of top corner of the attic next to the severely injured Delatrix.
Yes. And actually, is anybody in any like super amount of pain?
Mm-mm.
I don't think that they can do 43 damage in one attack.
Cool.
Fingers crossed. But yeah.
Hope they don't all attack you at once.
Yeah. Tony's hearing this like, numbers.
How can I make this work?
Then, in that case, we will just do a normal round of attacks. That doesn't hit. That does hit, and I got a 20, so we got double damage again.
Wow.
On Bellatrix.
All right.
Or
Bellatrix.
Yeah, that one. And let's do 6 plus. Oh wait, is it just doubled? I forgot. Yeah, it's just doubled.
You roll the die twice. So if it was a D10,
okay.
You roll 2d10.
Then that's what I will do. Sorry, I didn't.
It's all good.
Wait, does this work as well or no?
I don't know. I would say so. You rolled a 2 and you rolled an 8, and then you had the 4. So
gotcha.
14.
Gotcha. 14. Math. 14 damage.
14 total.
Yeah.
All right. Mila has defeated Delatrix with I think your attack is like a light touch. What does that look like, Mia?
I think for Mila, it's just going to be, this is so tacky, as she reaches out and like grabs the shirt or whatever top this person is wearing. And then as she does so, you just see the sun spread over the surface of the vampire and then cracks form. And then it just.
Yeah. Delatrix was wearing like a really billowy kind of piratey shirt. A lot of ruffles. And now, was a lot of ruffles. Now it's incinerated.
Imra is just hoping that Mila never calls her tacky. Like, quietly, like.
Recedes into the shadows.
Trust me, Elevor is like, for as long as he lived with Mila, it was like, oh man, I never want to be called tacky. I never want to be called tacky.
No, like that was scornful.
There used to be another roommate.
Oh, the tacky roommate, you mean?
Yep.
Well, you have slain 3 out of 6 vampires. The tide of battle has been turned. It seems like you will be successful here. Though the sun is setting. Is Mila all set?
Yes, Mila is all set.
All right, the vampires are going to go next. They each take 20 damage as they start their turn in enough light, but this damage is the last damage they take from the sun as the sun dips below the horizon, meaning that they will not take light damage from the
That's
sky.
A fast-setting sun,
and then will generate. It is a dramatically
less than 6
sun.
seconds. It went down. It was halfway down, and then 6 seconds, boom. Bam, all the way down.
Spooky.
Dan, I forgot. Should I have said it was 6 seconds from setting last turn? Is that what you need?
Yeah, you said half. Yeah, it was halfway. I mean, I'm not going to get out like the sextant and everything, but
I can. That's probably you'd want a protractor, please. All right. So vampires are next. They may not be long for this world. They will make the most of it as they can, and to do that, they are going to converge on Broldish.
I thought you were going to say they were going to turn into one super vampire, like they were going to converge on one another.
To your knowledge, that is not an ability. You did.
Vamptron,
I mean, remember your friend who gave you Esmeralda Davenier gave you a lot of information about vampires. Unlike before you may have had the belief that vampires could merge into a Voltron vampire, Vamptron.
Please,
but now
Devamp Stater, please.
So, but now I think you're gonna go Decepticon with it, Dan. There's plenty of Autobot combined things.
No one cares.
That's true. They were not as good as Devastator. Oh man, I remember when I had one part of Devastator and I was like, someday I'll make it big. That day has not come yet. But it's good to have things to work for. All right. Anyway, vampires are all going to converge on Broldish. The hope is that one of them will be able to grab you and the other ones will be able to feed upon you. So I'm going to do claw attacks until I successfully grab you, which may or may not happen. This is up to 6 attacks. Claw attack the first. 9. Claw attack the second.
Keep going.
What? 8.
I like this trajectory.
There is not a lot of room to go from here. Claw attack the third.
7.
15.
Nope.
Claw attack the fourth. 23.
Yes.
All right. Instead of dealing damage, the vampire will grab you. So the vampires are attacking you. Karn, you managed to block several attacks, Broldish, but then Karn somehow gets his horrible, filthy claws around you, and Erasmus and Felena are going to dive in and attempt to sink their fangs into you. I had done 4 attacks, so I have 2 bite attacks left. So bite attack, the first is going to be a 24. Bite attack, the second is an 8. So you will take 6 piercing damage and 7 necrotic damage, 13 damage total if you don't care about the type. And your hit point maximum is reduced by 7.
Ouch.
Ugh.
Until you finish a long rest. And I'm going to say that Felena is somewhat nourished by that.
Don't like that. I don't like feeding vampires.
I wouldn't recommend it as a strategy.
After midnight, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Or after
Dan,
sunset.
I'm just thinking about that adventure. There was an adventure where a magic carpet wrapped up one of the adventurers, and all the other adventurers were just trying to beat on the carpet, which had their friend inside them, which, let me tell you, is a great way to almost kill your friend and barely kill a magic carpet. So don't do that approach.
We almost did something like that.
I'm just saying that it's impressive that no one ever learns.
Technically, my character died. They just got brought back.
Wow.
Yeah. Now you have a life chat.
Killed outright.
That level 2. Rough stuff. For people interested in that adventure, too bad it wasn't recorded. But we will be playing that same adventure on a future Candlekeep thing. Because all I do is recycle stuff. Imra, you are next, followed by Elevor, followed by Broldish, followed by Semets, followed by Crucible, followed by Lena.
Okay. So I am going to I'm going to step around behind the vampires here. And I'm going to go for our bloodied friend. I cannot see their name. But I'm gonna go for them with 2 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 16 and a 12. Bummer. I'm moving my hunter's mark. Barely remembered to do that.
Good work.
And okay, so that is 10 magical damage plus hunter's mark letting me down with 1 additional damage, so 11 total.
All right. Well, that vampire looks not well. That's Felena. Perhaps if Felena had just had a snack moments ago, she in fact would be dead. But thankfully,
Imra.
you can, Imra, you see some of Broldish's blood. You recognize it. You've seen it a lot. Like splashes out of Felena's wounds. It's very fresh. The freshest blood.
Mhm.
All right, Imra, all set?
Yep.
Elevor.
Elevor can't do his bonfire attack on the windows anymore.
You could,
I'm
just wouldn't get you much.
still concentrating to keep Mila around, so I think Elevor will just try and bonfire one of those old vampires. Let's go with Corn, which is what I'm calling Corn.
Also, I think that might actually be more goth. Well, it depends if it's spelled.
That's true.
A C or
is it spelled a K? Or, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, I never thought of spelling the band Corn with a C, and they're just a bunch of Midwesterners wearing flannel, shucking corn.
An 8's not gonna do it, folks. So
all right, the vampire nimbly, basically, kind of clings to the rafters with its spider climb.
Wait, I'm so sorry.
The vampire not so nimbly does something different when you change your number.
I forgot create bonfire is a dex save, so you, Corn, need to roll and beat 15.
Corn is really good at dexterity, though. Corn rolled a critical. Finally, Corn has done something in his past human life. Corn was an expert not get set on fire, and he brings that with him here into his new life of undeath.
Well, that's all Elevor has for you folks. Call back next week at the same time.
All right, Broldish. There's a vampire that's just fed on you. Technically, 2 vampire. Well, 1 tried. 2 tried. Yeah. There's all kinds of vampires. You want that blood back?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going for it.
Get a refund.
First attack, more than hits. And once again, Brildish is going. I'm going to use. This time I only have 2nd level spell slots left, but I'm going to do that so that I can do my divine smite. And let's see. So that would be. Let's do the regular damage first.
All right.
I'm really sucking on rolling damage. That's 5 divided by 2.
True.
Yep. And then let's see. Okay, so 2d8 plus 1d8 for each spell level plus 1d8 because it's undead. Okay, so that is 6, 7, 8, 9. 21 radiant damage.
Woo!
All right. Broldish has taken another vampire off.
Halo be praised.
You want to describe it, Erica?
Yes. It's actually kind of similar to before. Like the axe just sort of bites in. It almost looks like Brildish missed because like it's just not doing anything, and then suddenly it just erupts into holy flame. This time it's more a side swipe, so it's kind of like basically it cuts who's this Belina in half from the sideways. So her top half burns separately from her bottom half as the axe slices through.
Ugh. All right, Broldish, good. Do you have a second attack that you do?
I sure do.
See, I remember this time.
I'm gonna, and since this is sort of a side swipe, this is gonna swing through and try to hit Corn as well, and that's a 1.
I'm just gonna change his nameplate here. I can't respect him anymore.
But yeah, that was a 1. So totally got distracted by the fact that I cut a vampire in half.
Yep, it's hard to kill a second. It's hard to hit 2 vampires in the same turn. Samus, Erasmus is right in front of you.
Yep, and we're going to go for a nice old Clawly Wally, but we got a 12 on attack, so that's going to be a miss.
Samus doesn't level up, so though Samus was like a powerful like engine of devastation early in the adventure, it's kind of like all of you have caught up to a saber-tooth tiger. So there's a lesson here about outgrowing pets. I don't know.
Are you saying we need to abandon Samus?
I'm just saying that Samus is now level appropriate. You've aged into it, so good job. So Crucible.
All right. Crucible will look around the room, notice there are 2 vampires left, notice the sun has gone down, and he will murmur a prayer. The rune on his forehead starts to glow, and he'll point a hand at Korn and say, rethink your life decisions.
so many decisions.
That's a 15.
Which hits.
That hits.
That is 26 radiant damage.
Oh. All
Does
right.
he like that?
No. he the other one. The not liking it is how he's experiencing it.
Well, that was worth
it. To be creamed corn.
Oh,
love it.
Oh,
love it.
Oh, Dan, your voice is different.
I've retired in the last 6 weeks. I've passed the mantle on to someone else.
All right.
Yeah. Well, all right. Somebody else want to put some more damage in him? See if you could popcorn.
Oh my God.
I'm out of retirement.
Sorry.
I would love
Erica's
to.
was good.
I would love to put some more damage into corn. Let's see if I can, though.
Remember what this guy's name was Karn so long ago.
I remember it was Carl. That's how long we've known each other.
Okay, so that is 11 radiant damage. Oh
no, Shane.
Okay, I thought it was me. I
Come back to us.
assumed it would be my Zoom. I heard 11 radiant damage.
I did hear that. That was the last I heard.
That seems low, though. I think there's probably more to come.
Yeah.
Wait, was there a pun in there that I just missed, or Dan, or was that just normal talk?
No, that was just I really want to know.
Oh, okay. See, the pause at the end was what made me think that you were telling a joke. I'm waiting for the reaction.
It's all about
I feel like I'm on a podcast with Guy English.
Timing.
Now that's a cornball.
Real can of corn there. Yeah. So we don't know what happens because we lost Jane.
Yeah, we don't know. It sure seems like you've got corn.
I think corn's dead. Is what I'm hearing.
Cornered. I like that
one.
Yeah. Do you?
I did. Yeah.
I do.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take it then.
Every good pun has a kernel of truth.
That's not true.
Stop being so corny.
One of these guys is a night stalker.
Everybody in here is just except for Aline. Aline is not, but everybody else is processing corn puns. Aline's just ready to run away.
I'm genuinely thinking of making popcorn when we're finished recording. Is what I'm thinking about.
If we can't beat him, you know what I'll say? Aw, shucks.
Oh, I like that one.
That one's good. I mean,
I was trying to think it's something to do with husk, but I just can't think. I guess you can turn a vampire into a husk.
Yeah, you're just a husk.
they're husks of their former selves.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we're talking about.
Jane, please come back.
I'm back. 13 radiant damage.
Oh, it went up.
You missed some great corn puns. You missed some corn puns.
You missed some corn puns, yes.
Yeah. All right.
They were all smooth as silk.
Oh, I like that one. That's subtle. I like that. Thank you. All right, Korn is not doing well, having taken 13 radiant damage from Lena.
Was there no sneak attack damage?
Yes, so I did 11 radiant damage followed by 13 sneak damage. I rolled as poorly on my damage as I did on my Zoom connection.
But that's 24 damage then.
So yeah, it was 11,
we got divided in
11, half. 11 followed by 13.
That is an important clarifying thing, because that is enough between those two attacks to kill Korn.
He's off the cob, people.
Oh, damn. Lena, what does it look like?
Holding the sword aloft, making eye contact with the remaining vampire, plunging the sword directly into their comrade. Can I make an intimidation check?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Make that with advantage because you're murdering someone with a lightsaber.
Yeah. Sorry, I accidentally hit the button to roll 3 times, but the second one was a 17.
All right. Yeah. Erasmus is gonna try to escape on it. Erasmus is sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Mila is
mostly
next.
I would like to give I just want to rattle him. I don't necessarily want him to succeed at getting away.
Shake him until he rattles, or
but like just with my steely gaze. But it'll feel like he's getting shaken.
Yes.
That's true.
Mila, Micah.
Mila says, which of you tacky monsters is next?
Erasmus looks very nervous because there's a limited pool of monsters.
And approaches Erasmus and strikes out. Oh, that's not.
I don't know enough about fashion to make any descriptions of what Erasmus is wearing. So Erasmus looks like they shop at Target, which is what I do.
I like Target.
I think boutiques, like very good thrifter.
Yeah, I think what it is the people that Mila likes are not tacky and can look good in anything that they wear, and she's very supportive of them. She's like, "Ooh, work it, yes." But anybody that she doesn't like, it's just like.
I think unfortunately the there's a lot of challenges that go with being a vampire. There's probably I feel like maybe there's an attachment to wearing the clothes that you died in, which are not going to be great just from like a blood and other things. And so, and then you wear those for a long time. You don't always sleep in the best places, so they're getting damp. Your ability to procure other clothes is really limited by frustrating store hours that are not open at night. So, it's not, I think even if you had nice clothes, they are not well maintained, but because of your vampire spawn lifestyle. So, I see. Did Mia rolled some attacks?
Mila struck out with reached out with a radiant touch and did 11 radiant damage.
All right. Radiant damage is important because vampires don't regenerate when they take radiant damage, and Erasmus's plan was to regenerate.
No, that plan's not happening.
Oil.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Erasmus is the last vampire. Erasmus looks around nervously and darts. Erasmus jumps to the ceiling and spider climbs along the ceiling of the attic.
Some attacks, right?
Oh yeah, provoking attacks from Mila, Lena, Broldish, I guess Samus, and if Erasmus gets far enough, Elevore and Androtite, but I think some things may need to be reconciled before that. So, Micah, roll an attack for Mila, Jane, Lena, Erica, Broldish, Micah again because you brought a party, Samus. In an emergency, we only need Micah to do this podcast.
I can use my Divine Smite anytime I hit with a melee attack, so I choose to do that, and I hit.
Mila does 5 radiant damage.
All right, 5 radiant damage. Broldish, did you have a number ready?
Missed.
Samus misses.
7. I have 7 regular damage. And
7 regular damage from Broldish.
11 radiant damage.
Oh. Lena?
I used all my cool last turn.
Okay. Erasmus takes several hits, is still going. Spider climbs across the attic, makes it a good 20 feet across the room. Elevore and Androdite are parked out by the door, and Erasmus tries to squeeze past them and scamper down the stairs into the night. Androdite and Elevore take some opportunity attacks on this vampire.
Elevore does 7 poison damage.
Poison damage? How do vampires feel about poison damage?
I thought they had to stop if they got hit. No? Okay.
No.
I think that was 4th edition.
4th edition, and only if
some
you had
certain
characters.
feats. Some certain feats in 5e will let you do that, but
like,
there's Sentinel, I think.
Yep.
And then I thought fighters mark frequently just knock you start moving and they hit you basically.
Androdite misses.
Androdite misses. Elevor, you did 7 poison damage. Well, I sure thought vampires didn't care about poison damage, but vampire spawn apparently are vulnerable. Elevor, what happens to Erasmus as Erasmus tries to squeeze past you, get down the door, and escape into the night to live a life full of vampire crimes, a carefree life? Do you call it living? Well, it's carefree. A carefree life of carnage, just preying on the people of Vallaki, not caring as people burn down their houses as some kind of weird cover-up. Possibly, I don't know, maybe Erasmus was going to go steal a wedding dress before any of you got there, and now we'll never find out what happens before Erasmus.
Elevor says, oh, good.
I was just going to ask, you said vampire crimes. Is that crimes against other vampires or vampires committing crimes, or both?
In this case, it was crimes committed by vampires.
Vampire on vampire crime, which is the worst kind.
Thank you. Yeah.
Elevor says, wow, that blouse is... And then Mila goes, and then Elevor turns a little red, and then he reaches out with his claws that grow out of his hand, because this is primal savagery, and slashes at the vampire person thingy upon the ceiling. And then Erasmus, there's like black veins kind of grow throughout Erasmus, and then she just falls. They just fall dead to the ground.
Yeah, Erasmus, you basically swat Erasmus out of the air, tumbles to the ground, and bleeds out. Erasmus has not been killed with a radiant attack, which I think I was tracking carefully, so you may need to, deliver some wood to Erasmus's heart. But, Erasmus is incapacitated.
There's a lot of wood.
And there's a lot of lumber in this room, so you're not going to have to look very, very hard for it. You did manage to knock a lot of planks off windows as well, so this room is dripping with wood.
Sharp wood.
That's not a way you describe. Yeah, I don't like that. So
I don't want my wood to drip.
Well, then varnish it, Micah. That's just. This is now a home repair podcast.
Them's the breaks.
Yep. So,
wood.
Players, you have defeated my squad of 6 vampire spawn. I thought this was a threat that would truly test you, but you have shown the vampires that you are ready, perhaps ready for bigger and badder things. I speak of a wedding dress you'll steal from civilians, but I also speak of one Count Strahd von Zarovich, who sits somewhere in Castle Ravenloft, knowing, watching, aware that someday you will arrive, and he waits for you. Will your adventure in Ravenloft be real short? It will not. Will I ask any questions in this closing that I will answer later? I guess I just did, but I meant not to. Players, we have done much, but I think it is time to steal a quick wedding dress and head to Ravenloft. It is time to take things to the next level. I use that both figuratively and literally because I believe you are going to level up now before any more combat happens, unless you have to murder some guards to steal that wedding dress. Try and figure out a non-violent way to steal a wedding dress.
I've got to talk to that guy. I've got to talk to the coffin maker who's hiding out, so we will see what happens.
What will the coffin maker answer for his crimes? Had Tony forgotten about him? Almost certainly not. Thank you, Aline. The end of this episode of the Dog and Pony Show. Total Party Kill. Curse of Strahd. Barovia Adventures. Livestream/bootleg. Thank you for listening. We hope you had a good evening, or whenever you're listening to this, it was good to be back, and hopefully we'll be back sometime soon. Life is uncertain, but Dungeons and Dragons is inevitable.
I would just like to note that Justin in the chat made a corncur pun, and it was the best corn pun anyone made.
That is possibly better than anything that we said.
Possibly,
hands down.
Almost certainly.
I corncur. Wow. Come on, that's amazing.
You know what? We're canceled. This is we have nothing left to offer.
Justin, you're the DM now.
It's you. Yeah, you're. Yeah. Wow. Also, you're from Nebraska.
What do we roll?
Recognized. So yeah.
Game recognized game.
So yeah, from now on, our adventure.
I believe you mean grain recognized grain.
Oh God.
Justin what is Dan roll? What saving throw?
There is no saving throw for that.
Micah, I think there's like a 45-second delay between things we say and them hearing it on YouTube, let alone them responding to it in chat. So this is going to be a real play-by-post atmosphere where we vamp for a minute between questions to Justin. So Justin says, "Thank you much. I've learned from the best." Learned is a strong word.
Best is also a strong word.
Yeah.
You know what? From is a good word, Justin. Good choice. I think we should end it here. Dan, thank you for streaming it. Nerds will be back sometime soon. Take care.
Good night, Mom.